After analyzing the metabolic data of over 200 executives, I discovered these three common myths are actually preventing high achievers from reaching their potential. The third one contradicts what most fitness experts recommend, and it's costing you hours of productivity every week. Welcome back. If you've been following this series, you now understand the biological mechanisms behind executive performance, how to reset your autonomic nervous system, and you have a practical protocol to optimize your metabolism. Today, I'm going to challenge some deeply held beliefs about metabolism that might be holding you back. These are the three most damaging metabolic myths I've identified after working with hundreds of executives across the medical and biotech industries. Myth number one, fasting improves executive performance. The first myth is that intermittent fasting is optimal for executive cognitive performance. While fasting has benefits, research from Dr. Huberman's lab and others show that for executives under high cognitive demands, it can actually be counterproductive. Here's why. Fasting increases cortisol production, which, when combined with already elevated stress of executive functions, can create excessive sympathetic activation. This impairs the prefrontal cortex function essential for high-level decision-making. What the research actually shows is that strategic nutrient timing, specifically protein-forward meals with moderate carbs timed around your most demanding cognitive tasks, optimizes executive function far better than extended fasting. Dr. Michael, a biotech exec I worked with, switched from 16-hour daily fasting to strategic nutrient timing and saw his afternoon cognitive performance improve by about 30% based on his decision-making assessments. Myth number two, cold exposure is always beneficial. The second myth is that more cold exposure is always better for recovery and performance. While cold exposure can be beneficial, the research shows a much more nuanced picture for executives. Dr. Huberman's work on temperature regulation demonstrates that excessive cold exposure can actually suppress thyroid function and growth hormone production when applied incorrectly. The key insight is that cold exposure needs to be precisely timed relative to both exercise and cognitive demands. Cold exposure immediately after strength training can blunt the anabolic response, while cold exposure at specific times can enhance recovery and cognitive function. The optimal approach for executives is targeted temperature contrast. Strategic application of both heat and cold to specific body regions at specific times relative to your performance demands. Sarah, a pharma exec, was doing daily ice baths but experiencing declining energy. By implementing strategic temperature contrast instead, her recovery improved and her afternoon performance significantly enhanced. Myth 3. More exercise is better for executive metabolism. The third and most damaging myth is that more exercise volume leads to better metabolic outcomes for executives. Research on thyroid function and growth hormone shows that for executives under high cognitive stress, exercise volume has an inverted U-shaped curve relationship with hormonal optimization. Too little is insufficient. Too much actually suppresses the hormonal pathways you're trying to enhance. The science shows that for executives, 3 precisely designed 45-minute sessions that target specific metabolic pathways would produce far better results than 5 or 6 longer, less targeted sessions. James, as CMO, reduced his training from 6 hours weekly to 2.5 hours of targeted metabolic work and saw improvements in body composition, energy levels, and cognitive performance. The key insight is that your executive metabolism responds to precision and specificity, not volume. Every minute of your training should serve a specific metabolic purpose aligned with your executive performance goals. Which of these myths have you been believing? Drop a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments and let me know which one surprised you the most. Now that you understand the biological mechanisms have practical protocols and have cleared away the myths, in the final video of the series, I'm going to reveal the complete executive athlete protocol, the systematic approach that optimizes every aspect of your biology for peak executive performance. Click the link on your screen or in the description to watch the final video and discover the complete system.